share this on Twitter. Okay. I'm gonna tweet the stream out. And we'll be good. Come defend my map. We'll get there eventually. Honestly, it might take us a damn while, I'll tell you that much. I hope not, but we'll try. I'm starting in just a second. Yo, downtown is the best place in Warzone. Literally, everyone tells me that it's apparently shit. I don't get why. All I say is I like downtown. Everyone's like, oh, I'm a camper. Bro, I don't get it. Alright. I'm just tweeting stuff out right now. What are they? Garad Krovi and Blood, I assume, right? I'll have to hear your defense on Blood because, I mean, I don't hate Blood. I'm not one of those people, but Garad is easy, though. I'm gonna say Garad's great no matter what. Let's be real here. Alright. Let's start it off. We're gonna get these ones out of the way because we gotta start off with fucking exo zombies. Sub Team YouTube. We're starting off with literally exo zombies, so it's not gonna be too hard, considering most of these are gonna rank pretty low. Not just because it's exo zombies. That's not like, I don't want to be biased about it. That's why we're doing this. So Outbreak, the first exo zombies map. I'm trying to think, honestly, because Outbreak, replayability, right? Out of 20. A lot of the other categories ruin exo zombies, like the bosses suck, I don't know, the guns aren't, no, they're kind of trash because the pack-a-punch system is just stupid, so you can't even get powerful guns quick at all. There's not any like cool wonder weapons or items on Outbreak either. Map design is simplistic, I guess. Easter egg is kind of stupid. Bro, Exo Zombies is like, it's just not good. The story, I mean, it was there, but it wasn't interesting. Atmosphere, it looked like doo-doo. Innovation. It was the first non-Treyarch map. I guess it's a little innovative, like a tiny bit, but... Alright, replayability. Let me look at the other maps, because... Sorry for dipping on the stream yesterday. Oh no, that's nothing wrong with that. It's more replayable than like Bus Depot and like Farm. I'd say more replayable than Transit. But it's not more replayable than Shangri-La or Ascension, so I'm gonna give it a 9. A little bit higher than Transit, but not higher than Shangri-La or Ascension for sure. So, honestly, 9... I don't know, maybe it's more replayable than Transit even. Dude, I hope it's no later than the 28th. I'd be pissed if it was any later than the 28th. Because Modern Warfare Season 4, I think, starts June 2nd. So, there's 2 weeks from now until June 2nd. Or 3 weeks. So, but there's 2... Well, it's 2.5 weeks, okay? So, it'll be within the next 2 weeks, I'm assuming. Honestly, at this point, I'm done making expectations for when it's going to be. Because 14th sounded like the perfect day in every way, but since it wasn't, there's no point of guessing. There really isn't. I'm just going to wait. Hope for the best. You know what I mean? Honestly, at this point, like, if it's next week, cool. If it's 2 weeks, not as cool, but I'll still be fine with it. But if it's not till, like, June, then it's going to kind of get a little bit annoying. I just want it out there, because when it's out there, there's more discussion we can have, because we can actually discuss the maps and what it looks like and predictions. But like right now, we have no information. So it's kind of annoying. All we have are leaks, and there's not been that many leaks compared to Modern Warfare. There hasn't been that many leaks. So let me know if the music's too high. I don't know if it's too high or not. Okay, Exo Zombies. Replayability, I gave it a 9. Items, I didn't like most of the guns. You couldn't really pack punch them all that well either. You had the Stealth Cauterizer, which was cool, but nothing too crazy. Really fun at Christmas Fate this season. I don't want to spoil that, so I ain't gonna say anything about that. I'm gonna give it a... There really weren't any cool grenades either. The other maps did, though. Items... I'll give it the same as Transit, an 8. No, honestly, it's worse than Transit. 6. Like, what is there to talk about? Go back to your old videos to preview this. And dude, I go back to those old videos sometimes too, just to like go on a nostalgia trip. Dude, I know, it's so weird. Modern Warfare, the whole game was leaked. Like, we knew everything about it. I think they're either just really... Maybe coronavirus is kind of helping that a little bit, because it's harder for leaks to happen when they're not even working in the studio. It's much harder. You know? Yeah, I did. We thought about canceling it. Yeah. But I'm probably not gonna. Oh god, I got a freaking ant in here. Dude, what are with the ants in this room? It's like I got like a ant infestation in here. And I literally don't eat food in here, so I don't know why they're coming in here. I don't eat food because of this reason. Map design. Yeah, no leaks. I agree. I'm glad there's not been too many leaks. But it's just weird to me. Yeah, no one's getting flown out. And there's not as many, like, people involved in it right now because they're all working from home. So I feel like it's just much harder for leaks to even come out in the first place. We have leaks. I mean, there's not no leaks necessarily. It's just the leaks we have are very vague. Like, we keep getting new leaks, and I'm like, that's so vague. Like, we have, like, what? They say the game is very visceral, very brutal. Like, okay, I know that. It's going to be brutal, of course. It's Vietnam, Cold War. We know it's going to be Vietnam, Cold War. If it ends up being something that's not that, that would be the weirdest, like, 180 ever. But, yeah. Quit vaping during quarantine. Yeah, I don't vape. I mean, I have before, but I don't, like, consistently do it. Bro, because ants don't deserve to live. They just don't. They have no redeeming qualities other than to annoy me. Alright, I can't get too distracted. We gotta get through this. Map design. Outbreak. It's got the same exact map design as Kino, so it's not a bad map design. It's really not. The only reason I hate YouTubers getting flown out, not because I envy them, that's not really how it is. I mean, they work their way there, so of course, they deserve it. But, well, most of them work their way there. They deserve it for the most part, but I hate it because then I can't see their reactions to the game. And I love seeing their reactions to, like, the new games and shit like that. And when they play the maps before, you can't see that. Before name got revealed, the t-shirts. Wasn't it it was also the hat, right? What was his name? I don't know, basketball player. I forget which basketball player it was, but he was wearing the hat. That was cool. I thought that was fake when I first saw it. Alright, map design for Outbreak. I'm honestly going to give it like a 7, because it's honestly not a bad map design at all. It's really not bad. It's like Kino's map design, which... What I give Kino? I give Kino an 8, but it's not innovative, so I'll give it a 7. Bosses. Exo Zombies got EMZs. Yeah, it's going to get a low ranking for bosses. The EMZs ruin the damn map, man. They really do. But it's not nearly as bad as, like... It's not nearly as bad as, like, Denizens, though. I'll give it a 2. James Harden. Okay, yeah, that's who it was. Easter egg. It was really simplistic and kind of boring, but it wasn't god-awful. I'd probably give it, like, the same rating as, like, Transit's Easter egg, honestly, so I'll give it a 4. Yo, Outbreak's a lot lower than I thought it would be. God damn. Story. I can't even tell you what the story's about. Like, that's the thing. Story category, when it comes to exozombies and World War II, I'm really, like, I don't know anything about the story for World War II or exozombies. Or at least I don't know much. So, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be biased and just give it a 0 because I don't know it. So I'm going to do more research on it. For now, I'll just give it, like, a 2 because that's how much I probably think it is. But I'm going to do more research on the story for World War II and exozombies because I want to have a better input on it. I don't want to rank that category in a biased way, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that. Atmosphere for Outbreak. It looks like poop. It's literally just like a facility, like an Atlas facility. Yeah, it's not that great of an atmosphere, to be honest. It's probably the worst atmosphere. It's probably a 1. Some research. I'll do that later, honestly. I don't want to bore you guys with that now. Dude, is this going to get a lower ranking than Transit? I didn't think Outbreak could be worse than Transit, but look at it, man. It's getting worse than Transit. Okay. I wouldn't rank it normally worse than Transit, so I'm surprised, but, I mean, that honestly makes sense to me. Innovation. It's the first non-Treyarch map, so I give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt for that. I'm not going to give them a full 10 for that, though. They have exosuits, too. We'll be getting no going back. Yes. Oh my god, get the hell out of here. This is not an ant this time. This is a fucking fly. Or not, it's like a mosquito. I don't want it to bite me because mosquitoes suck ass. Probably should have my window open. That's probably why. Better to sleep. Possibly. Possibly. Alright. Innovation for Outbreak is gonna be a... Honestly, I gotta give it some points for being the first non-Treyarch maps. I'm gonna give it a 5. And so that gets the final score of 36. Is that the worst so far? No. Farm and Bus Depot are still lower. But it's still pretty damn low. It's almost as low as Transit. Infection! Oh god, this is gonna be so bad. Infection, replayability. Replayability. I'm gonna give that a 2. No, actually, 4. Like, at least it has stuff to it. Items. Magnetron was the wonder weapon, and they didn't really add any new grenades, not that I remember. So, I'm gonna give that a little bit worse than... Actually, no, a little bit better than Outbreak, because it has more than Outbreak, so 7. Map design. I actually hate the map design. I actually hate it. Doors are really expensive. It's... I mean, it's not terrible, actually. It's not that different from Outbreak. It's actually, you know what? The map design's not terrible. Now that I'm really thinking about it. I like Outbreak's design more, so I'll give it a 5. Bosses. A little bit better than Outbreak, actually, because the Goliath zombie is actually really cool. I might give it a 4 for that. I actually really like the... I really like the Goliath zombie. He was actually unique and cool. Easter egg. I like it a little bit more, a tiny bit more than Infection's or than Outbreak's Easter egg. Just a tiny bit more. It's a little bit more interesting. I'll give it a 5. Story, same thing. I don't know yet. I'm gonna give it a 2 because I feel like that's probably what it's gonna get. Atmosphere is going to be a fat 0. It's literally the sewers and then Burger Town. You play Shepherd of Fire. It'll come eventually. No, I'm not going to play Shepherd of Fire, actually. Because that's by Event Sevenfold. Copyrighted. Ain't doing it. Even though I don't get much money from these streams anyways, I don't want to get copyrights at all. So, I'm just not going to play that. That's why I only play Kevin Sherwood songs, because those aren't copyrighted. Now we have Innovation. Did this map innovate? Not really at all. I'll give it a 0. The Survivor rounds, but it has to be good innovation, so 0. 27, so it's tied with Bus Depot. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Look how low those numbers are. Not one of those numbers is in double digits. That's hilarious. Infect shit, you are right. You are so right. Carrier, my favorite Exo Zombies map. Replayability is much higher. Much higher. I'll give it a 12 for that. It's actually got replayability to it. Items. You have an awesome wonder weapon. And... what else is there? You got the repulse thingy. You have the teleportation grenades. $30 dono. Oh yeah, but it was an extra $30. But that was a funny moment. It's got better items than that. I'd put it with the same as 5. Okay, Bus Depot is fun for 1 minute though. Like, think about that. When you think of long-term fun, is it long-term fun? Like, anything could be fun for once, but would you ever... items are wonder weapons, guns, perks, equipment, and like traps. So like all that shit, you know? How interesting they are, how fun they are, how unique they are, how innovative, I guess. Actually, no, innovation is in the other category, but yeah, just weapons, perks, wonder weapons, stuff like that. Oh, it was $1 because I guess it was a different currency or something. So, oh no, don't worry about Bob. I know Bob in real life. It's fine. It's fine. Bob's a friend. It's good. Guess that'll be episode titled New Frontier. Actually, probably not, because there was a Fear the Walking Dead episode titled The New Frontier, and I don't want the same titles, so I'm just not gonna do it. No, he's joking. He's joking. It's fine. Shield and specialist. Yeah, actually, yeah, I put shield and specialist on there too. Yeah. And I don't know how BO4 would work, because like perks, would I give it like a DLC map more points for a brand new perk that was added with that map, even though it's on every other map? I don't know. That's like a hard one to decide, but we'll get to that when we get there. Carrier's map design. I actually really like Carrier's map design. I actually really like it. I'm gonna give that an 8. Bosses. Literally the same bosses as the other map, except they added a teleporting guy, but it's got EMZs, so it's not any better than Infection, to be honest. I'm Bob, who are you? Easter egg, a little bit better than Infection, but not by much. Story, same thing, I have no idea, so I'm giving it 2. For now, at least. Atmosphere, much better than the other maps, but still, it's still an Atlas facility that's kind of boring, so 4. List sucks. Is it because Shino was not on top? Here, I'll put Shino at top. Would that make you happy? Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Shino number 1. Innovation. No, not really. It's an innovate. I don't think there was any innovation in this map. No, there was a few new like items that we never seen before, and the one weapon was kind of cool. You know, I'll give it a little bit more than that. 3. Top 10 episode series. I might, but I probably will at one point. Descent, replayability. Honestly, a little bit less than Carrier, but still more replayable than Infection and Outbreak. Items, you have the Trident Wonder Weapon, which is pretty cool. This map added a new perk as well. I forgot about that. It wasn't that great of a perk. Descent, it added any new equipment? I don't think so. Any grenades? I don't remember any. I remember there being the same amount of grenades as Carrier, I think. But I love the Limbo so much, it wasn't as cool, so I'll give it a 9. Moon, innovation should be higher. What did I give innovation for? Moon, I think I gave the innovation that because it was the first Easter egg to give you, what's it called? Like perks. Yo, what's up, Zazu? It gave you perks. I'm gonna say In Harm's Way, Rowdy. Because it gave you perks from the Easter egg. I think that was a huge innovation, but what else though? Oh, of course, we're taking good time on BO3. There is a lot to discuss there. I'm just gonna finish Descent real quick. Map design. Descent's map was way too big, I feel like. It had like that one port where you have to like go really high up to get Jug, and it was so far away from everything else. Yeah, I didn't like the map design. I'll give it a 5. Bosses, literally the same as this map, but it had teleportation zombies, right? I don't know. I honestly, I'm not like informed enough on most of Exo Zombies to have a good opinion on it. There's some categories I'm pretty informed on, but not for the most part. Sorry I'm late. You're great. You be as late as you want. Don't matter to me. I mean, it does matter because I love you, but you get the idea. Descent. Bosses. I keep forgetting the bosses. I'm pretty sure it's the same as Carrier, right? Did they add anything new? I thought the teleporting zombies were also on Carrier, right? No gravity. Yeah, but that's not a big innovation, because, like, that's just a different thing for that one map. But, like, when did we see that again, other than, like, in DE and slightly for, like, a little bit, in Revelations? But I didn't think it was that big of an innovation, really. It was just, oh, we're on the moon, so let's have a look. And remember, it has to be positive innovation, right? Positive. This is not just giving points for being different. It has to be good different, at least in my opinion. And I personally hated the low gravity, so I wouldn't consider that good innovation, in my opinion. Bosses, I'm going to put, honestly, 4. I don't think it was that different than Carrier. I really don't. Easter egg for Descent, I don't remember liking it that much compared to Carrier. I recently did it for the first time. I did it off stream. And because I tried it on stream and I just gave up, but then I did it off stream and it honestly wasn't that great. I liked Carrier more, honestly. So I'm going to give it a 5. Story, same thing. I'll have to research that later because I don't know the story in Extra Zombies at all. Atmosphere, same as Carrier, to be honest. It's really not that much different than Carrier. And then innovation. First map to have an actual boss fight. I have to give it a 7 for that. I'm sorry, like that seems like a bit much, but the boss fight. Vrucht better than Carrier. Vrucht's got 52, Carrier's got 49. By a slight amount. By a slight amount. I think it might be. Because where Vrucht really stands higher is the atmosphere, like that scare factor, right? You're gonna do Easter egg hunt for BO5? Yes. Worst episode so far? I don't know, actually. I'd have to think about that more. Where Vrucht really stands high is, I love the World at War guns, first of all. The map design, I loved how you started in 2 different places, right? Replayability didn't get a lot. It falls short in replayability because it has nothing to do on it, right? And story didn't really have much of a story to it other than a few minor things. The atmosphere and innovation was pretty huge. First, we have to have perks as well as the creepy feel of it. So that's where it kind of gets a lot of points. Whatever, we're done with Extra Zombies. I don't want to talk about Extra Zombies anymore. I'll figure the story stuff out later. I'll do some research on that. But let's start with Shadows of Frickin' Evil. I love this map, so I'm feeling it's gonna be kind of high, but not as high as some people would put it. Like, I wouldn't put it like top 5. Like, I know a lot of people would, but let's see. Let's see where it ends up on the list based on these categories. So replayability. There's a decent amount to do on it. What the hell song is this? Is it an ad? I'm assuming it's an ad because this is not... Oh no, it might be a copyrighted ad. No, stop. Okay, good. Could have been a copyrighted song. Fuck that shit. Fuck that, Subwalker Dead. 20 for replayability. I don't know. Okay, so I'm thinking of everything. Not only using classics, but also using megas. Because the one thing that I really did not like about this map, as well as DE, is if you don't use megas, you can't get more than four perks. And I don't like that. Like, I really enjoy having more than 4 perks without using megas. But it's not a huge problem. That's just a small thing because it does take away some replayability for me. Is 20 the highest number? For replayability, yes. And for items, those 2 categories. But for map design, bosses, Easter egg, story, atmosphere, innovation, that's 10. And then out of 100 in total. Dude, I don't know about replayability for Shadows of Evil. It has a lot to it. The fumigator thing with the pods, I freaking love that. That was something I really love about Origins that they brought back because it's just fun, honestly, going around getting random shit out of the little things. There are lots of small Easter eggs, yes. The main Easter egg, if it was solo friendly, I mean, you could do most of it solo, but you can't like complete it with solo, so that's kind of unfortunate. But this, I mean, it kind of goes into replayability. That's more of a personal thing because I do solo play a lot more than with other people. It is a fun Easter egg though. That's a hard one, dude. It's gonna be high though. It's gonna be high for replayability. There's no way it's not. Well, you know, I'm just gonna go to atmosphere first and just give that a straight up 10 because obviously the atmosphere, like, why wouldn't it be a 10? It's literally like the coolest looking map ever. Story was pretty fire on this map. I love the characters. It felt disconnected from the rest of the ether at first, but it really does connect well afterwards. Like it really, really connects well. So I'm gonna have to give it a 9 for that. But I don't think it's perfect yet. I do think like no, the characters are all great, honestly. I have no problem with the characters. The Easter egg, because it's not solo friendly, it does hurt a little bit, and the boss fight's a little underwhelming. Like you can complete it in like 10 seconds if you have Death Machine. It's a little underwhelming. The boss fight, the Easter egg. I mean, most of it is honestly just upgrading the sword, though. To be honest, I do like the flag step. The flag step is enjoyable. Yeah, but then it's not a great Easter egg. Now that I'm really thinking about it, it's great compared to most of the ones we've already seen. So I'll give it a 7. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I can't give it a 10 or like a 9 for that. It might even be a 6. I don't know. Because let's see what other Easter eggs. I gave Origins a 7. So you think it's on par with Origins? You know what I mean? I don't know if it's on par with Origins. I feel like I might have given the Exo Zombies Easter eggs too high of scores. Now that I'm looking back at them, I'm comparing them to No, there's no way. I gotta give Outbreak a 2, Infection a 3. I don't know why they were so high. I wasn't really looking in comparison to other maps, but looking back at it, there's no way these Easter eggs are that high. And Descent, yeah, like a 4, honestly. Or no, a 3. Okay, there we go. That's more fair. Not a high round player though. Pretty good, I heard. Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you're using alchemical, if you're not, it's kind of whack. Oh man, that's so hard. Okay, I'm gonna go back to items. Items are honestly gonna be really high because the Apothecary Servant's awesome, but the fact that you can't upgrade it though is a little disappointing on this map. The Arnies are awesome. The sword is awesome. It added Widow's Wine, which is one of the best perks. The Bootlegger, which was a weapon that was only on that map. So the Meat Wagon, what do you call it? The Walker Dead. What was it called? The Bloodhound. Pack a punches to a Meat Wagon. It's the coolest freaking name ever. Replayability though, should that be 15? I feel like that should be 15. I don't think it's more replayable than Origins, Buried, or Mob. I think all those maps are more replayable. I do. So Call of Dead is 15. So that means it'd be... No, it's higher than Call of Dead. Come on. You know what? 17. I'm putting 17. I think it's higher than Buried. 17's fair. Map design. I love this map design. I love how it's laid out, how you have the waterfront canals and the footlight. Then you have the little downstairs area, and then you have the different... They all connect to different characters, all the different locations. The map design is almost perfect to me. The way you can get around it through the teleporters as well, through the rifts. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It's the first map design to get a straight 10 out of 10. That's awesome. Okay. Bosses. Oh man, I freaking love Margwas. I love Margwas. They are the coolest boss zombies, in my opinion. I love the design of them. I love how they look. I don't give a shit if they were some weird Cthulhu shit. I know people hate that. They're like, oh, the hentai crap. I love it. I don't know. Margwas look dope. They're cool to fight against because, you know, you gotta wait till their mouths open up, so they're unique. They're not just like a bullet sponge. You know, I hate bullet sponges, like a lot of different boss zombies are. I like when there's some intrigue into it. Like, you gotta actually strategize how you're gonna kill them. So I might just give that a straight up 10 out of 10, honestly, when it comes to... I'm giving that a 10 out of 10. The meatballs aren't too bad to deal with. The flies are just there to annoy you, really. They're just there to annoy you, the flies. They're not hard to take out. They don't really affect the map that much. The meatballs are only annoying in the flag step, but other than that, I have no problem with the meatballs. So, innovation. How did this map innovate? It's... I mean, it was the first BO3 map. So, like, I can't really say it's innovative for being... for the BO3 mechanics. Like, Gobblegums wasn't a Shadows of Evil thing. That was just a Black Ops 3 thing in general. Like, that's the hard thing when ranking these maps. Like, do I rank them on the game it's in itself? You know? I don't know. Yeah, Shadow Man, that's true. I'm honestly, I feel like the boss fight. I don't know if I should count that in bosses though. I feel like that should just be in Easter eggs, right? Because like, I feel like they're just too big of a boss to even count them as just a normal boss zombie. I still have some fucked up parts here. Like, I did not know how to count boss zombies for Noct and Varuk because they don't have any. So I was like, what do I even put for them? But I was like, okay, this is the first time we have zombies, so I'm just gonna put a 5. I still don't know. There's still some parts in the top part of this list that I'm a little like iffy on. I'm like, you know what? I really don't know where I'd want to rank them. Is my brother playing a goddamn saxophone upstairs? I think he is. I think he has beast mode. Oh yeah, but that's not really innovative because Afterlife did that before beast mode. It's not really anything new. Brody's playing a saxophone. What system is better to you? Bubblegum, Gobblegum, or Elixir? There's pros and cons of both of them. I don't know which one I like more. I do like how Elixirs aren't as overpowered because I'm not a really big fan of when they're really overpowered. But at the same time, Gobblegums are more fun and you can dashboard with them, so you're gonna always have them no matter what. But I do feel like you can break the game way too easily with Gobblegums compared to Elixirs. But I like how Gobblegums look and how you get them from a Gobblegum machine compared to the Elixirs. Because the Elixirs completely ruined a big part of BO4. How the shield has to take up a different slot because it can't be on the D-pad because the D-pad takes up all the Elixirs. And then they have to move the shield to the left bumper. So then now equipment is only in one slot. So you can't have monkey bombs while you have grenades. Like, that's just one part about Black Ops 4 I really don't like. That you can't have more than one equipment at a time. Like, you can't have your grenades and then keep your second weapon, you know what I mean? That's annoying. So I do think the way Gobblegums were handled was much better. But in terms of, like, the power of them, I'd rather them be more on the scale of Elixirs. Because they're not nearly as powerful. Not the same as that. It's not the same, yeah, but it's the same concept. It's the same idea. Even if it works, it looks really different. It works really different. I do like how beast mode works better than Afterlife, because Afterlife is a huge, like, risk. If you're, like, too far from your character, you're just dead. Dude, yeah, Infection's the lowest. I'm honestly not surprised about that. Really, I'm not. I was expecting to put Infection in last place. I really was. And that's exactly where it went. Shadows of Evil, Innovation. I don't really think the map innovated too much. I'm really... Like, it added a lot of new stuff. That's true. Widow's Wine's a big innovation. That is true. And it did, like, kind of... Origins really jump-started this, like, premise storyline that was in BO3. But, I mean, this map really pushed it forward. Especially with introducing the Shadow Man. Okay, I'm going to give it an 8. I think it deserves an 8. I don't think I'm going to give it a perfect 10. So Shadows of Evil ends with an 89, which so far that's the 3rd best on the list. Origins and Mob are still top 2, so this becomes number 3. That's fair. That's actually fair. The Giants. I did not want to count the Giant as its own map. I really didn't. But technically, it's not a remaster. Technically, it is a remake. It's not the same as Deriz. You know? It's its own map. It has a new name. It has a new story, a new purpose. There's new characters you're playing as. You're not playing as Ultimus. You're playing as Primus. It's a new story in the map. So it's technically its own thing. No one really counts it as its own thing, really, but, like, I kind of have to, you know? So, but I really don't care for the Giant at all, because, like, Deriz is better in every damn way, and it didn't change much from Deriz. Can you guys hear the saxophone? If you guys can, that's fine, but I don't know if you can. You probably can't, because I have a lot of, like, settings on my mic that, like, tries to negate background noise, so you probably can't hear it, but just let me know if you can. Laser Eye to melt snow. What do you get stamina up out of that? Like, I don't give a shit about stamina up, or you get, what, Deadshot Daiquiri? So, replayability, I don't think it's going to be that high. Let's see, what did I put for Deriz? I put 12 for Deriz, but Deriz is much more fun. I feel like, because of the World of War guns, it just makes it more replayable. But then you have Gobblegums, though. Gobblegums does add a bit of replayability. Oh, that's true, Gobblegums. And technically, there is more stuff to do than Deriz, I guess. You do get Annihilator from doing the Fly Trap Easter egg, and you didn't get shit in Deriz, so... You didn't get shit, right? I'm remembering that correctly in Deriz. That's interesting. I don't know if it should be higher than Deriz in replayability, because like normally I would always want to play Deriz over the Giant, but at the same time, I feel like it just, objectively speaking, like a not my personal bias here, it probably has more replayability to it. Maybe by a little bit. I'm gonna have to give it 13. It's the MBO3 that's definitely a huge part to it, but items. I don't like the items in this map. It's just you got the BO3 guns, which I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the BO3 guns. I think they're way too powerful. There's like no shitty guns to mess around with, to have fun with, because they're all really good, especially if you get Deadwire. So, but the Shadows of Evil was so high because it had, first of all, some interesting guns like the Bootlegger that wasn't on any other map, as well as the starting pistol. But the Giant only has the Monkey Bombs, which is on like every other map, and then it has the Wonder Waff, which we've seen before, and it's BO3 guns. So I don't think it's gonna be that high. I don't think it's gonna be that high. There's no like unique guns on it either. It's gonna be really low. Not lower than Transit, because Transit's just shit because of the jet gun. But BO2 guns kind of help that out a little bit, because I do like BO2 guns. It might be a low score actually. Like honestly, like 8 or something. Like it might be a straight up 8. Yep, it's gonna be an 8. And the Wonder Waff didn't even feel as powerful as the original Wonder Waff. So map design, it's literally the same as Deriz. So what I gave 8 Deriz. I'm gonna give 8 to the Giants. The same exact map. Bosses, literally the same as Deriz. So 5. Easter egg is literally the Fly Trap. But I also ranked it on the high rounds though here, so I thought high rounds was kind of fun in Deriz. I don't think it's fun in the Giant at all. It's just not, because it's just Black Ops 3 running around in a circle with a Deadwire gun that you can buy more ammo off the wall with, like the BMP or something. That's like the best strat you can go with, really. I mean, yeah, the Wonder Waff can go to decently high rounds, but not too crazy. Story. I love the cutscene. It didn't feel that important to the story, but it definitely had an awesome cutscene. And I feel like if the Giant actually made itself a remake, rather than just feeling like a remaster with just little changes, it could have been so much better. Like if it was like a Blood of the Dead style remake, you know? Like very different map, more areas to go to, an actual full-on Easter egg. I get it was supposed to be a side map. It wasn't supposed to be a mid-map, but I did like the story, though. Not more than Shadows of Evil, but it was nice to have Primus back as well. I'm going to give it an 8. It's not too bad. Atmosphere, definitely better than Doriz's Atmosphere. It's snowy. I don't love the round change music though. It's kind of disappointing. Not better than Origin's Atmosphere. It's probably on par with yeah, probably like 7. It's a good one. Innovation though, did it really innovate? It was the first remake, I guess, right? I mean, have we seen a remake? We saw remasters. I don't know. I don't think it's that innovative. I don't think it should be that high. Yeah, the Giant cutscene vid. I'm surprised that it can take it down, and it had like 30,000 views or something. I was really surprised. I might give Innovation for the Giant a fat 0, honestly. Like, what else am I gonna give it, man? There was no innovation to it. I can't think of anything. Now, Der Eisendrach, whatever you want to call it. Replayability. Easter egg is fantastic, so that automatically pushes up the replay value to it. There's 4 different bows you can go for. Yeah, it's the same level as Origins. It's a 20. It's a 20 for replayability. Fuck, bro. One of those YouTube bots said he wanted to be YouTube friends, and I heard it and replied, God damn it. I heard you only have to subscribe to him, and then you might get hacked. So hopefully you're good. Don't subscribe to him. Luck to disagree, but I really think Call of the Dead is better than Buried in Shadows of Evil in terms of replayability. It's timeless, but I feel like they get boring. Yeah, that's fair, but I don't know. I feel like Call of Duty just doesn't have enough, you know? It's a BO1 map, so that's just kind of the way it is. They just didn't really have that much stuff to do on them. You see what I said about your brother's sax? Oh, yeah, it sounds like Shadows of Evil around tune music. Wait, so you could actually hear it? Or were you just fucking around? I don't know if you're fucking around or not. Items. The bows are awesome. It is unfortunate that there wasn't any like unique guns on it though. You just still had the Black Ops 3 guns and the Monkey Bomb. The plunger melee weapon. Don't forget about that. Then any perks. It's gonna be high up because of the bows, so I'll give it an 18, same as Shadows. But if they had like unique guns, like imagine they added like the HD-40 instead of adding it in Zetsubo, it would have fit a lot better in Horizon, in my opinion. Hope I only have to sub it. I deleted the vid. I'll re-upload it later. Dude, I don't know, man. Those fucking bots are wild, man. They've been doing that for my channel for like 2 months now, and it's just, it always pisses me off. I remember the first month, I thought it was real. I thought it was just a really loyal subscriber who just loved my videos. And then I was like, oh wait, this guy's on like every video. Yeah, Call of Duty is great. It's what it's trying to be. And that's why I put it rather high, to be honest. I think it's one of the better like classic maps. I think actually it is the best classic map on the list, yeah. If you look anything below Mob of the Dead, it's the highest ranked. So, 73. Okay, Horizon map design. It's pretty solid. I don't know if it's better than Shadow's map design. No, it kind of is, honestly. Yeah, honestly, they got perfect teleportation methods. Not teleportation, transportation methods. It's very easy to get around. Yeah, it's perfect, honestly. Bosses, you got the Panzer and you got dogs. None of them are unique, but I love the Panzer. I think he was an awesome boss. He's a little bit different, though. The shock charges are really annoying. But the dogs are generic because we've seen them a million times, so I'm gonna give it an 8. An 8. That's still pretty high. Easter egg, 10. At the first Easter egg, I give it 10. Yeah, other than I gave Shinonuma high for high rounds, but Horizon's the first Easter egg. I'm giving it straight up 10. Story, it was pretty brilliant. I'm giving that a 10 as well. No freaking 900. Giving that one a 10. Atmosphere, is it on the level of Shadows of Evil, Mob, Buried, and Origins? Is it on that same level? Hell yes, it's on that fucking same level. I think it is, at least. Actually, no, it's not on that same level. I'm gonna give it a 9. It's not. I love the atmosphere, but I don't think it's better than like the very unique atmospheres of Mob, Buried, Origins, and Shadows. Those have such great soundtracks. Horizon has it feels good, but it's not as good. I think that's gonna get a 9 for that, but not as high as some of the other things there. Innovation. It was the first good boss fight, so that's the thing, I guess. What else did it innovate in, really? Not a lot, to be honest. It's kind of similar to Shadows of Evil's innovation. Yeah, it didn't really innovate that much now that I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna give it a 7. It innovated, but it wasn't too crazy, so that's a 92. That's kind of what I expected from Horizon, to be honest, so that's a pretty good score for Horizon. Zetsubu no Shima. Zetsubu no Shima. You're gonna be surprised about this. I think it's just as replayable as Shadows of Evil. Actually, more. I'm giving it an 18. I think it's more replayable than Shadows of Evil. I'm not even kidding. The KT4 is annoying to upgrade, but it's still fucking fun as hell. The plant system, though, that's what makes this map replayable. There are so many combinations and weird things you can do with the plants. I freaking love that. You have the challenge podiums, which are really fun to mess around with and get free stuff from. The spider bait Easter egg as well. The main Easter egg is not that hard to do either. You can camp down at the one place that's replayable to do that after the Easter egg. You camp at that little bottom area and by the elevator. That's a lot of fun. Items, KT4, Skullband Sopway. They added the HG40, the MX Grand, and the Marshall 16s. But they don't have the like bow level wonder weapons, so KT4 aren't as great as. I'll give it a 17. Zetsubo I like a lot more than most people do. Map design, though, oof. Map design I don't like. There's way too many doors, and they're way too expensive, especially later on. It's not a terrible map design. I'll give it a 6. Bosses, you got the spiders and you got the thrashers. I like the spiders. I do not like the thrashers. They spawn way too often. Way too often. That's really the only problem I have with them. Spiders can be annoying, but I think the way they work are fine, to be honest. I don't think they're a problem to the balance of the map, the flow of the map. They do block off areas, which I feel like is actually kind of cool how they do that. Jesus, my brother's just blowing on that fucking saxophone up there. Jesus. I'll give it a 7. No, you know, maybe a 6. A 6 sounds fine to me. Easter egg is not my favorite in Black Ops 3, but it's on par with... I like it more than Shadows of Evil. I honestly do. I think it's more fun than Shadows of Evil. It's a simple one. Story, cutscene's dope. There's some interesting like Division 9 crap there, but it's not as interesting as the Horizon Jock's story though. I'd put it on par with the Giant. Atmosphere, I like it more than the Horizon Jock's Atmosphere. 10. Gonna be straight with you guys. Innovation. Did Zetsubo innovate? Did Zetsubo innovate? I don't really think so. I don't know. Did Zetsubo innovate? What did Zetsubo innovate? Haven't seen any weird activity on my channel. Home save. Hope you are too, man. I'm just avoiding any of those comments. God damn it. I'm gonna move on because I can't think of any innovation there. Replayability for WWII, it's pretty on par with the other BO3 maps. They're all really replayable. I love BO3's maps. So... But it's not as replayable as Zetsubo. Not as replayable as the Horizon. Probably on par with Shadows of Evil. The plant system was also pretty cool now that I'm thinking about it, but I don't know if that was like a big innovation though, to be honest. Dude, this chair is squeaking all over the place. It was a bit different than the plants in Shadows because you can kind of cater what you wanted to make with the water. I kind of like that a lot. Items, WWII, you had the PPSH, the FFAR, the crossbow, the L4 Siege, the, of course, the regular Mark III. Yeah, that's kind of on par with Zetsubo. Not as cool as having the obvious bows, but still pretty awesome, nonetheless. Map design. Map design is gonna get a big fat... It's pretty good map design. It's pretty similar to WWII's. It's almost the exact as WWII's. I'm gonna give it an 8. Bosses, you got the Russian Mangler and you got the Valkyries. They're not really innovative or interesting, to be honest, but they're still fine. They don't really ruin any gameplay elements to the map. I'll give it a 7. Yeah, I'll give it a 7. It's not as good as like the Margwa or the that, but it's better. I think it's better than the Zetsubo bosses. Easter egg, I do love this Easter egg, but do I like it as much as the Horizon? I think I do. The boss fight alone pushes it up to 10. I think the boss fight alone does. Story, love the story to this map. I love it. Introduction of Monty. Fuck, I forgot. We're here now. We're on Garad. We are on Garad. So you're good. You're good. I think Garad gets bonus and items. It brought back so much classic old school weapons. That's true. But I think it's already pretty high because of that. Easter egg, yeah. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Don't worry. I gave it a 10 out of 10. The boss fight alone pushes it up to a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. I think, I don't know, because the one step I don't like, and maybe because I don't like it because it's hard, if you don't use Undead Man, it's not fun, is the Valkyrie escort. I really hate that step. I think that step is just stupid. If you don't have Undead Man, it's just obnoxious, but it's the one step, and that's not enough to bring it down, though, honestly. And the cylinder code step is not hard, but it is annoying how you have to pull up a guide. Like, you're going to pull up a guide. You're not going to do it without a guide, but it's not that big of a deal to me. So the boss fight alone pushes it to a 10 out of 10. Easy peasy, no doubt about it. Story's 10 out of 10. Atmosphere is... It is dull, but it's a war. It's supposed to be dull. Like, I can't give it a low score because it's not colorful like Spaceland. Like, no, it has to be dull. It's a fucking battlegrounds. I mean, I guess it's fine. Will I give it a 10 for that? I'm going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it a 10. It's got a great atmosphere to it. It does. Invasion 8 is the least timer on screen. I didn't think of the timer on the screen and timer challenge. That's true. That's true. I wasn't even going to think of that. I might give it an 8 then. Huh. Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. Now, Zetsubo Innovation. That bomb step was gay. Yeah, it wasn't... No, it's not terrible. We just sucked back in the day, all right? But looking back on it, it wasn't that bad of a step. It wasn't that terrible. We just sucked. It is less dull than World War II. I mean, you have the dragons, obviously. Yeah, those are colorful and add a little bit of color to the map. But I don't need to be... It's Stalingrad, like, you know. But did Zetsubo innovate? I don't think so. It's probably the same level as, like... Nah, I'm gonna give it a 4. It didn't innovate that much. Revelations, replayability. Pretty much the same as... I feel like it's the same as Garage. I don't think that they're that different in replay value. I wouldn't put it that much lower. I'll give it a 17. I don't think it should be lower than that. Items, the Thunder Gun. They brought the Rift E9. No new perks. Everything they brought wasn't new, but the upgraded Apothecary Servant was new, so... I mean, other than a few weapons they brought were new. Replay does depend on what type. It does, completely. But that's why I'm trying to take into account all types of players. Like, I'm not just doing this off of my own personal taste. I'm trying to think from, like, as many perspectives as possible. Like, combining them, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm trying to combine speedrunners, Easter egg runs, just regular casual people, high rounders, fucking first room challengers. I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, literally everyone, and it's hard to do because there's just so many types of players, and that's why it's so weird. Like, the type of player you are completely affects what map you like, completely. Like, Crazy Rabbit is an example of a guy who he hates Easter eggs. I made a video today talking about Matt's ranking or whatever, and I watched it, and he was bashing on BO3 and 4 a lot. But then he even says he doesn't give a shit about Easter eggs. He hates Easter eggs. If you hate Easter eggs, of course you're going to hate BO3 and 4, because what else is there to do other than the Easter eggs? Like, you're going to go high rounds? I mean, I don't know. High rounds, to me, is more fun, and they're easier in BO3 and 4 than they are in previous games, which I think makes it not as fun as they are in old games. But, like, I don't know. It depends on what type of player you are, yeah. I'm trying to think of everyone, though. That's why I have so many different categories here, because I just want to try to take into account everyone. Bosses, 10. Honestly, the elemental Margwas are freaking awesome. Yeah, honestly, yeah, that alone, it gives it a 10. That alone gives it a damn 10. It's a 10. It's a 10. Map design. It's not bad. It's simple. You start one place, you go that way, it loops around, and then there's Noct in the middle. I think it flows well. You can get around the map pretty quick. It's not a bad map design. I think it's a fine. Actually, I think it's a fine. It's pretty similar to Garage. I'm gonna give it an 8. It's not perfect, but I think it's a fine map design. Items, I'm still thinking about that. I do love the Thunder Gun coming back in the Apothecary Servant, but I feel like they didn't bring back too much new stuff, which kind of ruins it a little bit for me. I don't think it's as good as the stuff you can mess around with in Horizon or Zetsubo or Garad. And the specialist weapon, they just fucking, what's it called? Gravity spikes, which I wish they brought something new. So I'm going to give it like a 15 for that. Still pretty high, but not too high. Easter egg. I don't like this Easter egg. I don't hate it though. There's parts of it I love, and there's parts of it I don't like. Like, there's some steps that are just stupidly random, and there's a lot of steps where you're just running and grabbing things, which I know a lot of Easter eggs are like that, but... Oh yeah, the masks. I forgot about the masks. Should I bump up replayability? Because the masks are fun to go for. They are fun. That does add replayability to it. And honestly, that might even be... Well, Garage Corey also had masks, but they weren't as cool. Because you could get like the God mask. Honestly, Easter egg, I might give like a... It's not as good as Darius and not as good as Garad. I don't even think it's as good as Zetsubo's Easter egg, to be honest. But is it on par with like Origins? It might be on par with like Origins Easter egg. Like a 7, I think, might be fair. I like the first stage of the boss fight, but I don't like the second stage. A lot of the steps are just simple pick up eggs, throw the summoning key at different spots in the map. It's very like, you know, I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like they could have incorporated a lot more to it, and they didn't. Story is not terrible. Story is not terrible. But there's nowhere in Easter egg where you can stop for 10 minutes and wait for shit. That's true. That is true. It's not like it's not a slow Easter egg. You know, it is a fast Easter egg, but it's just not fun though. I don't think it's fun. If you use yo, what's up, Caleb? If you use megas, I guess it's a little more fun. But like without it, it's just, I think it's poop. Honestly, if I was ranking it with just classics, I think it'd be like a 3. But like megas does make it a little bit more bearable. Because the fact that you need the Apothecary Servant, you need little Arnie's, you need the DG4s, it's like, wait, you need DG4s, right? I don't remember. I can't remember. Whatever. 7. Now, I kind of want to put it even lower. I want to put it lower than 7. The boss fight's cool, but it's not as good as Shadows. I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6. I'm great, Caleb. How about you? I was about to call you Collab again. I'm not even kidding. Story, the cutscene was underwhelming, but after seeing BO4, I do like how it wrapped up BO3. Oh yeah, with Megas it's god awful. Without Megas. But this is taken into account with or without, so you know. Story, there were some good story elements. I didn't like the cutscenes, so that brings it down a little bit. But it was the ending that we needed, though. If they were to extend the story, they couldn't really do anything else, unless they wanted to end it there. But they clearly didn't because we got BO4. So I'm gonna give it a freaking 7. It's not terrible. Atmosphere. That's kind of hard because there's so many different types of atmospheres around the whole map. But the skybox, it's a 10. I forgot about the skybox. The skybox is fucking gorgeous. And I love the Easter egg song. The soundtrack is all sorts of different soundtracks because you have, like, depending on where you are in the map, it'll use the music from that map. So yeah, honestly, it's a 10 out of 10. Innovation, though, that's where this map falls short. What the hell did it innovate? What the hell did it innovate? There was nothing new on the map. I don't... I'll give it a 1 because it made the upgraded Apothecary Servant, but that's pretty much it. Like, what else did it innovate? Rados and dialogue in the map was nice. You know, yeah, there was some... I'll give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it a big fat 8. I really don't think I could put it higher than that. But that just goes to show how good BO3 is. Because look at the scores for BO3 maps. We got 89. That's the Giant. Just forget about the Giant. Just forget it's not even there. 92, 77, 87, 75. Those are all really high. Again, forget about the Giant. Just forget it's not there. Those are all really damn high. I mean, compared to everything else here, we got like 40s, 50s, 60s in here. Of course, BO2 has a couple bangers, though. All right. So, honestly, I'm going to go through Let's go through BO4 first. I think I want to go through BO4 first, and then we'll go back to IW and World War II. I think I'm just going to go through BO4 first. The only problem is when I scroll down, you know what I'm going to do? Copy. When I scroll down, I can't see what's what. I can memorize it, but just for the sake of you guys and just so I don't forget, I'm going to put these all down here just so we know what we're ranking. But I'm going to do BO4 first. We'll bust those 8 maps out. Like I said, for my full ranking, a lot of this shit can change. I guarantee you it will. Because, like, I'm not making this ranking video for a while. Like, I'm doing this now because I want to get it, like, started on it. But I still got to get gameplay for it. And I want to wait till, like, I want to wait till either... I still don't know if I want to wait for the game to be revealed. Like, zombies be revealed and then drop it, like, then. Or if I should just wait till BO5 comes out and then rank the newest BO5 map, whatever it is, with this ranking. I feel like I want to do that just because I'd be the first person to rank all the maps. I feel like that'd be kind of cool, like with BO5. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to wait that long. So I'll probably just do it like soon. You guys can't see it on the... There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's do BO5 4. Start with 9. I'll probably release this whenever the zombies is revealed for the game, which hopefully should be like by June, because I gotta do a lot. I'm getting gameplay for every map, and then I gotta actually go through and it's gonna be like a long ass video, man. I don't know how I'm gonna try to keep it under like an hour. I want to keep it under an hour, but it's probably gonna be like at least an hour and a half, maybe. I'm gonna try to keep like, there's 50 maps, right? So what, 2 minutes per map would be 100 minutes. That's already an hour and 40 minutes for just 2 minutes per map. Honestly, some maps like Bus Depot I could probably bust out in 30 seconds. I could probably simply say why Bus Depot's shit in 30 seconds. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But let's go with 9. Replayability. They're down there now, so you guys can see them. 9 has a lot to do on it. It's very casual friendly as well. So for casuals, they love it because it's not hard to do much on it. So that adds to replayability. It does have a couple of side quests. You can do the challenge podiums, which is fun to do. Go for the free perk you can get a free perk through another way with the little like night thingy. The Easter egg, is that replayable though? I don't hate the Easter egg in 9, but it's not my favorite from this game at all. I love the boss fight though, but we'll talk about that in Easter egg. But for replayability, I don't think it's as high as some of the BO3 maps. So I'm gonna give it like a 14. But see, BO4 has so much more stuff to mess around with. I feel like by default, BO4 is already more replayable. Like, even if you hate BO4, you can't deny that it has so much shit to it. It does. Like, you can mess around with so many perks, so many operator mods. They have so many guns. There's like 52 guns in every map. So many guns, so many of everything at this point right now to mess around with. All the different specialists. So like, I don't know. But then again, I'm gonna give it a 15. I'm gonna give it a 15. Items. You have the Sekker's Kiss, or the Death of Orion, whatever you want to call it. I forget what's upgraded. Is it called Death of Orion when you upgrade it, or before you upgrade it? I don't remember. The items on 9, you have that. I can't really say new perks because there's just 16. There's like what, 16, 18 perks in BO4. You just have them all in the same map, so it's kind of hard to do items. You have the Homunculus, but he's on every other Chaos map though, so it's not like a special or anything. But it is still an item that's on the map. But it's the same as the Monkey Bomb, really. You have the BO4 guns, which I am a fan of a lot of the BO4 guns. I think I like BO4 guns more than BO3, honestly. I like how they feel. I do. A lot more shitty ones, which kind of makes it a little bit more fun to mess around with, the shitty ones. I might give it like a Scarlet's. It's Seckard's Kiss, not Scarlet's. But yeah, that's what I thought. So it's Death of Orion unupgraded. Items is gonna be so hard in BO4 because there's not that many unique items to maps. Most of the items are on every single map. You know what I mean? Like that's really a hard thing to rank. Okay, I'm gonna go to Story because honestly, out of all the Chaos maps, I feel like Story was one of the weakest in 9 because it was all just simulation, right? Or like they were like high on the drugs or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it was, so I didn't care much for the story of that map. Atmosphere though is a straight up 10 out of 10. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. See, BO4 innovated a lot, but did 9 specifically innovate that much? It's so hard because I don't know if I should count innovation in BO4 with 9 just because it's one of the first launch maps. You know? I'm gonna just bust out Atmosphere real quick because I already know that Voyage of Despair is gonna be a 10, Blood of the Dead's gonna be a 10, Dead of the Night's gonna be a 9, Ancient Evil is gonna be a 10, Alpha Omega is gonna be a 10, and Taggart Totem's gonna be an 8. One thing that BO4 killed, Classified, I'm gonna give it 7. It's not that great of an atmosphere. One thing BO4 fucking killed it in, and no one can deny this, is that the atmospheres are incredible. The soundtracks, the locations, the vibes is phenomenal on all of the maps. And that's like, you can't argue with that. There's just no way. BO3's atmospheres are pretty great as well, to be fair, but these ones are honestly even better. Some of the best stuff we've had in terms of soundtracks and stuff like that, so it's great. Bosses. Let's go to bosses now. I want to get No, let's do Easter eggs. Easter eggs is fun. Easter eggs is fun because my favorite Easter egg in BO4. It's either between Ancient Evil, Alpha Omega, or 9. I love Ancient Evil's Easter egg, but I hate it for speedrunning. I hate that shit because obviously the you need to get the challenges in the beginning. But not everyone speedruns. Some people just do them for fun. So in terms of just the Easter egg itself, it's a pretty fantastic Easter egg. It's a pretty fantastic Easter egg. I might give it a 10. I think the boss fight's I don't hate the boss fight. It's cool, but some of the mechanics in it are a little weird. You can kill the boss in like 3 minutes if you do it right. I might give it a 9. I don't know if I can give it a 10. I'm gonna give it a 9. I don't think the Easter eggs are as good as Horizon and Garad. I feel like Horizon and Garad are the best 2 Easter eggs. I'll say Blood of the Dead. I've done this Easter egg once, so my opinion on Blood is not that great because I've only done it once. Like all the other Easter eggs here, I've done at least. Well, no, Voyage I've only done twice, but like I've done 9, Ancient Evil, Alpha Omega. I've done all those like at least 15 times now. So, but like Blood, I've done once, and I didn't like it. I know you probably like it more, obviously, but I like Blood of the Dead in other categories, but I don't think I can rank it high in Easter egg. I don't think I can. I'll say right now, story in Blood of the Dead is going to be a solid 10, though. That's obvious, but same for Ancient Evil. Ancient Evil has a great story to it. Whether you like Chaos or not, can't deny it's a great story. But Blood of the Dead's Easter egg, though, I just don't like it. But let me look at the other ones I've ranked before. I ranked Zetsubo an 8, and I ranked Revelations a 6. I think I like Revelations more. The Easter egg. I do think I like Revelations more. Buried, I have a 6. Mob of the Dead, I have a 5. I think it's on par with Mob of the Dead's Easter egg. Like, Mob of the Dead is such a simple Easter egg, but like at least it's not obnoxious to do. I don't hate the boss fight. I think the boss fight's actually kind of cool. But I hate how reliant the shield is on most of the steps, too. That's kind of frustrating. We're at World War II and IW. We're going to go back to that. I just want to do BO4 first, and we'll do that after. Because I feel like BO4 just fits better doing it right after BO3. I'm for now. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna give it a 4. Voyage, I think it's a little bit better, but again, I don't like the Easter egg. 9 is much better, but I hate I absolutely hate how in 9 in the early steps you have to do like 3 different things in a row where you have to wait like a round. I hate when Easter eggs do that. Garad has that for a couple steps too, but like where you have to place something into something, you have to wait around till it like finishes, and then you gotta pick it up and then place something else and something else. Pick it up like with the poop. You have to do that like 3 different times. I'm just like, bruh, dude, I just do not like the Easter egg. I don't know what would convince me to put it higher. Yeah, the shield thing's it's not a big deal, I guess. But like, I guess it's more so because like the shield was never reliant in the past, I guess, and most people just, you are right there though. I don't know why that's a problem now that I'm thinking about it. The shield has become a staple, especially in BO4. BO3, it was something you wanted to build, but you only needed it for like 1 or 2 steps and some Easter eggs. Like you needed it in Zetsubo for a step, I believe, but you usually didn't need it for most other Easter eggs. BO4, that definitely made it more reliant on shields. You kind of need it, but okay, you know what? Is it worse than Voyage? Nah, I'll put it at 5. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll put it at 5. It's still pretty damn low, but not as low as what it would have previously have been. All right, what was I doing before that? I think I was looking at 9's Easter egg. I think 9's Easter egg, it's definitely better than Voyage and Blood's Easter egg, but is it that high though? I love the boss fight. The one step where you have to shoot the Death of Orion like through the wall, I never understood that step. Like I never understood like where exactly are you shooting? I just look at the guide and where it tells me to shoot, but I don't know. That's not a big deal though. That's just me questioning a step on the Easter egg. But there's a couple steps that are kind of fun. I do like the raw step. It's annoying, but it's still fun to do. It's very intense because if you fuck up, you're like pissed. But that's, it's a good thing. Easter eggs should make you a little angry. I'm gonna give it an 8. Classified. Now, did we count the round of 150 Easter egg as the Easter egg or the Project Scatty? I don't know. If we're talking about around 150 Easter egg, even for high rounders, like, why is that an Easter egg? That shouldn't be an Easter egg. You should get another reward for doing that. I can't give that a good reward. That's just not a good Easter egg. I get they were trying to give the high rounders a voice, but like, why in the Easter egg category? Why not give them something else? Give them something else, like a reward to get to 150. Maybe you get like a special, I don't know, weapon camo or something. Why the cutscene for the damn map? The Easter egg completion. I want to give it a freaking 0, but maybe that's bias. I don't know. Dead the Knight's Easter egg, I think, is underrated as hell. I don't think it's better than 9, but I think it's definitely at least a 7. It's on par with Shadows of Evil. That's fair. Alpha Omega, I love the Easter egg, but I hate the code steps on solo. But I think the boss fight's underrated as fuck. It's not really a boss fight, to be fair, but that's what I kind of like about it. It's very unique. It's very different. You have to fill up the souls and then slice them with the katana or with really anything. You have to get it back into the APD. I like it. The code step's bringing it down in my mind though, because I do have to have a piece of paper out, write the damn codes because I'm not memorizing the codes. So, and the clock step's kind of annoying too. Huh. I might give it like a 9 or an 8. It's gonna be an 8 or a 9. The lockdown step I like a lot. I love how Rushmore's involved in it and how he's like telling you different things to do. There's a lot of positives, but there's also a lot of negatives. I'm gonna give it an 8. No, 9. I think it's a great Easter egg. Tag the Toten. 6. 6. I don't like the Easter egg that much. I don't. It's a lot of just running around the map, doing different things. Not really much actual doing of stuff, rather than just picking stuff up. The ending was underwhelming for like the final Easter egg. I feel like if you don't get the Hellion, it's kind of a bitch to do that last step with the lava stuff. You could barely see anything. I think the shows you watch besides Walking Dead, not really consistently, but I have seen a lot of other shows. Outer Banks, Stranger Things, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. I haven't finished Better Call Saul, but I've watched some of it. Lost, the Clone Wars. Well, I started the Clone Wars. I haven't finished it either. What else did I watch? I watched a lot of other shows. I just don't remember them because most of them are shit. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of shows I watch are shit. There's a lot of TV shows that are just crap out there. And then I just skip up because they're just crap. But and I don't know if you count like sitcoms. If you count sitcoms, of course, I watched a shitload of sitcoms when I was younger and SpongeBob and shit, you know. But in terms of like consistently, like I'm excited for new episodes. Honestly, The Walking Dead's like one of the only ones I'm excited for new episodes. Most of the shows, it's just like, and Stranger Things. I'm excited for new episodes of that, but most of the shows I don't really care too much. Okay, let's do Classified. I'm honestly gonna give it a 0. I can't give it anything higher than that for freaking Easter egg. Story, Voyage of Despair. It was a good introduction to chaos. But it's not a great introduction. I'm gonna give it a 6. Classified had a lot of interesting shit behind it for Ether. Honestly, I might give it a 10. I'm gonna give it a 10. Or a 10. They brought back Ultimus. Come on now. Dead of the Night, a freaking 2. Oh, freaking 2. Alpha Omega is the lore behind Alpha Omega is great. Same with Tog. They're both getting 10s easily. Story in BO4 was some of my favorite, man. I really liked Story in BO4. Stranger Things kind of overrated. Fans make it cringe. Fans do make it cringe. I don't think it's overrated though. I think it's fantastic. For the most part, I didn't love season 2, but season 1 and 3 are like on the ball. Let's go to replay. Let's do bosses. Let's go down bosses now. So 9's bosses, you got the Okay, first like the Chaos Zombies, which is all the elemental zombies, which I don't hate them nearly as much as some people do. I don't think they're that big of a deal, especially on an open map like 9. So I think the bosses are fine. They're not really that annoying. The Gladiators come, and then the other guys, the Brawlers, and then you got the Knight. There's a lot of them. The Tigers, the Blight Fathers, shitload on 9. But since it's such an open map and it's kind of easy, they're not really an issue to me. I like the Gladiators and the Tigers though enough to give it an 8. I do. Voyage of Despair is pretty much the same thing, except for you don't have the Gladiators, Brawlers, or the Tigers, and instead you have the Stoker. But since Voyage is much more close quarters, it does make it much harder. Stoker's kind of a boring boss, honestly. So I'm going to give it like a 7 for that. Blood of the Dead, Brutus, and Dogs. Kind of boring, in my opinion. Brutus is cool, but we already saw him before. But I can't give it a bad rating because we saw him before. I gave Blood of the Dead a 9. I'll give it a little bit less because the Dogs and the Brutus, they're not new. So a little bit underwhelming. Classified, oh my god, the Nova Crawlers came back and the freaking Dogs again for the millionth time. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. What did I give the Nova Crawlers? Kino, I gave a 3. If I had to give it a 3 for the Nova Crawlers, oh my god. Yeah, I might have to give it a damn 3. Honestly, I don't know what else I'm going to give it there. Dead of the Night, ooh, I actually like the freaking... You just got to avoid the fire, honestly. There's ways to go around it. Dead of the Night, I really like the werewolves. They're bullet sponges, but they look awesome. And the bats or the vampires are annoying and they're hard, but they're so cool. And I actually fucking love them. People disagree with me on that because they say that's the reason the Dead of Night sucks, but I actually really dig the vampires. If you have the Alistair's Folly and you have the Hellion Salvo, or you have anything decent, it's good, Chad. Anything decent, they're not that bad. They're really not that bad. They're on par with 9. I'm gonna give it an 8. Ancient Evil. Ooh, I don't like the Minotaur. The Minotaur guy, whatever his name is. The dude who throws the big spear. I don't like him. And he's the only unique one. You have the skeletons as well. I don't like him, though. He's just a bullet sponge, and he doesn't even look that great. He's got, like, 4 arms, which is kind of cool, but... Yeah, I might have to give that, like, a 4. Honestly. No, I'll give it a... You know what? I'm too hard on it. It's got the Chaos Zombies, which I still think are interesting in design. I do like the Chaos Zombies. I'm gonna give it the Minotaur is kind of annoying though. I'll give it a 6. Alpha Omega. I love this map, but the bosses were boring. You got dogs again. You got the jolting jacks, which honestly weren't that terrible. They were cool to look at. It's a little bit better than Classified though, because the dogs were a little bit different. And it's a 4. I'll give it a 4. Tag the Toten. Literally just the dogs. What else did they have? Was it just the dogs? I think it was just the dogs. But for the final map, though, I mean, it's the final map. Like, I guess that's fair. Make it kind of feel like a classic map by having only dogs. I can't give it that high, though. I'm going to give it a 5. I think the boss zombies lacked in Ether BO4. But they're much better in what's it called? In Chaos. Let's go replayability now. Actually, I feel like replayability is the best to do last. I start to realize what the replayability is as I'm doing the other ones. Map design for 9 is pretty on point. 10. I love how it's designed with the different perk statues in their own locations. That's perfect. Voyage of Despair. People complain that it's too tight and it's too big. I don't give a flying fuckadoodly-do. It's a Titanic. Of course it's going to be big. I fucking love the design of this map. I love the different locations in it. I really don't have a problem with the design in the Voyage. Other than I could see the problem with the under area, like the, what do you call it? I don't remember. The underground portion of it. Not really underground, but the lower portions of it are kind of annoying to get to. But Chaos has the teleportation methods that bring you all around the map. Chad with the $5. Thank you so much. You gotta love yourself, man. You're great. You should love yourself. You just gave me $5. I mean, everyone hates himself a little bit. That's kind of fair because, look, that's just how life is. I read a statistic. Actually, no, wait, never mind. The statistic was actually negative. It said that you actually wait. I don't like myself. Wait, it said you appear to look more attractive yourself. I mean that. No, like, I'm trying to explain this the best way I could. When you look in a mirror, right, what you see is better than what other people see. That was a statistic that made me kind of ruin my day a little bit. Here's another statistic that'll ruin your day. Actually, I love to ruin people's days. So, from the age of 1 to 20, that time frame from the age of 1 to 20 years old, or 0 to 20, whatever, will feel the same as from 21 to 80 years old. So that's 20 years versus a 6-year time frame. They feel the same because of how your younger years just go by slower than your older years. So that means if you're 20 years old, the rest of your life till you're 80 years old, which will probably be around the time most of us die, is only going to be... I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying this shit. This is the one statistic that literally sucks to hear. It sucks to hear it, but I say it anyways because it's, I don't know, it's interesting. It's unique. It's an interesting fact. It sucks though, the more I think about it. Honestly, it's a good thing because when you know that fact, right, it makes you do more with your life. You know, when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, I gotta start doing more stuff. I gotta go out more. I gotta do this and that. I gotta start do more shit after I heard that. You know what I mean? Because you're like, bro, my life, even though I'm still so young, I know life is flying. I'm fucking 19 and life is flying, man. I feel like just yesterday it was Black Ops 3's reveal for Shadows of Evil, and I was busting nuts over it. Like, and now we're freaking waiting for Black Ops 5. Like, bro, it's crazy. Almost at 7.6. My recent video did really good, actually. What was it called? I I was covering some like first teaser type things, which weren't really teasers. They could have been teasers. I'm not too sure though. That video did rather well. That kind of did good for the channel. What's up, Ray Ping Miners? How you doing? Is it statistics significant at the 0.05 confidence interval? Bro, I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's get back to this. What'd you say about life? I don't want to repeat it. Bro, you know YouTube has a feature. This is not mean. This is just me telling you a feature. You can go back in the stream and see what I said. I don't feel like repeating it. That's why it took me a while to repeat it. I just don't feel like repeating it. Or it took me a while to say it. Okay, let's get back to this because I don't want to be here all night. But thank you for the $5, Chad. All right. Voyage of Despair. Map design. I was talking about the map design. Sound the name out in your head. Ray Ping Miners. Ray Ping Miners. Oh, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. You wild animal. You wild animal. What'd you say about life? Bro, that life sucks. That's what I said. Oh, okay. That's an interesting one. I never heard anyone have that name before. Like, that'd be a good Kahoot name or something. That'd be a great Kahoot name. I wish I was still in high school so I could do that. I'm like kicked out. Oh, okay. Voyage of Despair map design, I don't think it's nearly as bad as people say it, but I do think the underground has kind of ruined part of it, so 7. Blood of the Dead, the fact that the Pack-a-Punch can spawn in 3 different places and it doesn't tell you where it is completely fucks up the map design. But Mob of the Dead, what I put for that? 9? It's only a little bit less than Mob of the Dead then. It's got more areas. I'll put an 8. Classified, it's 5. I don't like 5 map design, so sorry, we're putting it at a 3. Actually, you know what? You have Area 51. Area 51 gives it plus 1 point. Got me wheezing over here. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Dead of the Night, I actually really dig it. How the different locations are compared to one another. It flows well, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the map design on Dead of the Night. I'm going to give it an 8. Ancient Evil, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 map design. Alpha Omega, 10 out of 10. Absolutely perfect map design. The way it's set up with the bunker underneath and the Nuketown above, it's perfect. Literally perfect. Tiger Totem is Call of the Dead, but with more transportation methods. What I give Call of the Dead? 8. There's literally just more areas and more transportation, so it's going to be a 9. At least. Lou Sassel. Jesus. Okay. We still got a lot more to rank here. Let's go with items. Let's do items now. 9's got the Secret's Kiss, BO4 guns. Honestly, BO4 guns with the operator mods are interesting enough, and then you have the perks. It's automatically going to be a 12 for me. It's going to be a 12. The perks just automatically push it up to being a 12 because there's just so many stuff to mess around with on all the maps. So, Secret's Kiss is also great. Homunculus. I'll give it 14 for items. Voyage of Despair, I love the Kraken. It's same items as 9, other than you get the Kraken instead. Opinions on Noctur Toten. You want to see them? They're right up here. Replayability, I give a 3 out of 20. Items, I give a 13 out of 20. Map design, I give a 4 out of 10. Bosses, a 5 out of 10. High rounds, 5 out of 10. Story, 2 out of 10. Atmosphere, 6 out of 10. Innovation, 10 out of 10. So it's a 48 out of 100. I don't think it's a great map. It's what started it all. That's why I give it 10 out of 10 for innovation. But other than that, like, what is there to it? You know what I mean? There's nothing great about it. Kraken, yes, the Kraken is great. I agree. By the way, for anyone who's watching, my full ranking video, because like I said, these opinions are not final here, and I want to put the full video together where I actually have it like a well edited and all that type of crap. It's probably gonna come out whenever BO5 is revealed, or whenever Zombies is revealed in BO5. I want to release it around that time, so it could be any time now. I don't know. I'm trying to get it out as soon as possible, but I also want to do it at a time where Zombies is very popular. It is right now, but I'm even more, you know what I mean? I gotta still get a lot more gameplay, and then I gotta actually make it, which is gonna take a couple probably weeks. So I don't think Zombie's gonna be revealed anytime soon, though. So we'll be alright in that department. Voyage of Despair, yes, I love the Kraken, but the shield is a lot more boring than the 9 shield. Forgot about the shield. So I'm going to give it honestly the same as 9. Kraken's cooler, but the shield is not as cool, so 14. Blood of the Dead. Blood of the Dead has a Tommy gun. It does not have on the other 2 maps. And the Blunder Gat goes to the Acid Gat. Do you think we'll get Zombies Chronicles 2? No, I don't. I think they're just done with BO4, to be honest. I would love for that to happen, but I think they're done with BO4. What's going to happen is probably those maps that were supposed to go to BO4 are going to go to Black Ops 5. So leaks are saying we're going to see Transit on launch. Like, it's going to be a launch map. Now, not a remaster. It's going to be a remake, so it's going to be very different than Transit, but it's going to keep the fundamentals of Transit. On launch, I think they will probably still get Die Rise and Buried, maybe sometime in the DLC season. They might be free maps, I don't know, but we're going to get them. There's no way we're not. They made them for BO4, and they definitely poured them over. Now, could they maybe put them in both? I guess, maybe. But I don't think they would just put them in BO4 and then not in the new game. You know what I mean? But I don't think we will, especially with how good Modern Warfare is doing. I don't think they care too much to add stuff to BO4 during Modern Warfare's life cycle, so I doubt it. Blow the Dead. I do like the Blunder Gat. Honestly, it's the same thing. BO4 maps are going to be so similar with items because half of this shit's on the same map. I would love for it to be pure to bonus. Like, I would love for it to be in both games. You get it in Black Ops 4 and you get it in BO5. So we'd have new Zombies content soon. But I feel like it's just going to be in BO5, honestly. That's what the leaks are saying, at least. They're saying Transit is going to be on launch along with another map. So, classifieds items. The Winter's Howl is not nearly as cool as the other ones, so I'm going to give it a 12. Dead of the Night, Alistair's Folly is dope. I don't want that, though, unless BO5 is a Dark Ether game, because I want the Ether to be done with BO4. This is what I think, right? Ether is technically done, but they're either going to reboot it or do a spin-off in some way. What I mean by spin-off is it'll be within the same universe, but it won't be like the same story. Like, you know what I mean? Because there's a multiverse, right? So the Dark Ether, like you said, I think they might do the Dark Ether because that's the only way they can really do Ether, because they broke the cycle. So unless zombies somehow find their way back into the main universe, but that would undermine the sacrifice they made. So I don't really want that to happen. Subscribe to the Ultra Player 115. Bro, I'm okay, buddy. I'm okay. I'm not gonna sub to you. I'm not even gonna look at your channel. You know, with the recent bots recently, I'm not trusting anyone. That seems a little fishy. Not at all. Not happening. I mean, you don't seem fishy. You're probably fine. You're probably just self-promoting, which, honestly, self-promoting, we've all done it before. But, like, I'll tell you now, it does not help the channel at all. Maybe one person will sub to you, but you're not helping your channel. That's all I'm saying. But don't spam. I will block your ass. If you say it one more time, you'll be done. You'll be done. One more time. I'll give you one more time. You have 3? 3 strikes. You did it 3 times. It's fine. But if you do a fourth, you're going to be blocked. You're going to be blocked. You're going to be blocked. Not blocked. I'll time you out. I'll be nice. I'll be nice about it. I'm semi-messing. But not completely. I had the idea of how the drug debate would have been fixed in BO4. The armor system is heavily underutilized. They could have made a system like World War II or make it viable. I've been saying that. Make it kind of like World War II, but not the same. I don't like how World War II's works because you could lose it like every 2 seconds and the price goes up. I think, honestly, all you have to do, have Jug be its own slot, and that's it. You just buy it, and it's its own slot. It doesn't take up the 4 perk slots, you know what I mean? My dad's name is Circumcise. I hope that's the case so it doesn't feel like it doesn't fit. Yeah, I agree. I think they'll work around some Dark Ether story. Maybe there'll be like a multiverse, some sort of a fractured universe or something that has a little bit of 115 in it. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm so curious as how they're going to do it. Chaos, I would not expect Chaos to return. I guarantee you Chaos is not coming back. I would love for it to, because I did love Chaos, but it's not gonna. It's not gonna. It's just the reality. People don't like it enough. Ancient Evil items, the gauntlets, 16. The gauntlets are awesome. Alpha Omega, Ray Gun Mark IIs are awesome, 16. Or anything else you get the Pegasus Strike as well. I don't know, Tiger Toten. I don't know, 14. That's not that cool. Honestly, Voyages is probably a little bit better. I'm gonna put it at 15. That's probably fair. That's fair. Rip Chaos, unfortunately. They might bring it back like way in the future. Maybe they'll be like, oh, remember that Chaos storyline? Well, we're bringing it back. That's possible. Not anytime soon. It wouldn't bring the sales in, you know what I mean? It's unfortunate truth. Replayability for Voyage is kind of low because of the Easter egg not being that great. But I think High Rounds is kind of fun, honestly. It's one of those maps that's actually kind of enjoyable for that. Blood of the Dead replay value. Side quests, they got a lot of them. The Golden Spork is fun to do. They already made 2 other Chaos maps, though. Yeah, that is true. Well, we don't know if they finished them, though. They probably started working on them. They probably didn't finish them, though. So, they're probably a heavy work in progress, and they probably scrapped them rather quick. I hope they have them saved. Honestly, I would love for them just to drop, like, a one finish. Like, honestly, for BO4, right? Just out of nowhere, like, next week or something, they just drop a one last Chaos map. They somehow work those last 2 maps into one map, and that's the finale. All I want is a finale. One more map would be fine. I just want to see the ending. That's all I want to see. Atlantis would be awesome or something like that. I don't know. Anything to fit with that mythology, that'd be great. I feel like Chaos only really works in BO4 too, because if you were to put it in a new game, what are you gonna do with the perk system? Are they gonna make a new god statue for every single perk? No, they're gonna have to keep the same perk system in BO4, which people don't like. So the trailers were made really for the Chaos map. That's crazy. I'd love to see what they were about, at least. Like, I've always wanted to see what an Infinite Warfare sequel would be like. I'm also just as curious as to what the Chaos maps would be like. So, Blood of the Dead for replayability out of 20. I'm gonna, for the Golden Spork alone, because honestly, it is kind of fun to go for, and it's pretty awesome. I'm gonna give it a 14. Classified does not have much replay value. There's just the product Scardy, really. But Dead of the Night, replayability. It would be cool if they had Chaos accidentally go into Aether's Dimension. Honestly, I was thinking that. But I don't think people would like that. You know what I mean? Because, like, I was thinking, how fucking awesome would this be if the final Chaos map, like, I don't know, they did some weird thing where they opened a portal, and then you see Tank Dempsey come out and, like, Richtofen. That would be so fucking cool. But they made it pretty clear the stories were separate, so when they say that, it's already done and done. Yeah, it was pretty much close to done. Oh, you mean the trailers were Zombie Chronicles 2? Yeah, I'm sure they were as well. Awkward pause. Yeah, I was replying to a message, so. But I do agree though. I would like for them to be on BO4, but like I said, I just don't think they're gonna do that. They don't think there's enough money potential in it because not enough people like BO4, unfortunately. So they're just not gonna release it on there. And they probably were just ported it over to BO5, so they're just gonna be there instead, which I'm fine with. I'm excited for it. It'll probably, hopefully the mechanics are great in BO5. I'm just so fucking excited for this game, man. Like, I say this every year for COD. Like, I'm always thinking it's going to be the best game ever, but I can't stop myself from being excited. I really can't, man. It's just one of those things. I honestly think replay value on Dead of Night is the highest out of any map in the game. I'm putting 7 fucking teen. I'm not even kidding. Ancient Evil is the same thing. Honestly, even higher. Alpha Omega, 17. The DLC maps I like a lot more in BO4. Tog, though, Tog's a little bit lower. Tog's 14. Replay value is pretty high on most of these maps, to be fair. So I just got a Twitch streamer with the rate. Oh my god. Is that like a new thing or something? Oh my god. That's funny as hell. Alright, innovation for these maps. I don't think they innovated that much, unfortunately. I think Ancient Evil... No, Dead of the Night, I don't know. What it really... Tog, I feel like there's not enough things to do on Tog. Like, the side quests aren't as... There's a decent amount, though. There is. Well, damn it. Alright, I can't wait. There's a decent amount of things to do, I guess, but... 14 is pretty high, though. At 14 out of 20 replayability is still pretty high, to be fair. What do you think Call of Duty without zombies? That's a great question, and I don't know. Like, I don't know if it would be as popular. I'm pretty sure it still would be popular. I don't think zombies... That's a great question, though. I do think there would be a lot less people buying some of the recent games. Like, BO4 sales would have been much lower. BO3 sales would have been much lower. Infinite Warfare sales would be much lower. World War II, I think they would all be much lower, to be honest, without zombies. Even though zombies is the smallest community, though, like mono multiplayer is the biggest community for cult. It always has been. It always will be. So it would still be a thing, I think. But I don't know if it'd be as big, though. It wouldn't be as passionate. You wouldn't have as many passionate people like I feel like the zombies community has. Yeah, that's true. They are really easy, but is easy make it replayable though? I feel like easy makes it boring to a degree. Because like when they're really easy and they're just not hard to do, what do? You sit in a corner. I know the TOG strategy was like you sit in that one window and they only come from that one window, but I feel like that's kind of boring though. Like I mean, personally speaking, I'm not a big high rounds guy. I do find high rounds to be boring, unless they're like Shinonuma World at War. But other than that, I feel like they're really repetitive on most maps. But I am trying to take into account as many players as possible because I want to be as unbiased as possible. Which duo do you think is better, Price and Soap or Woods and Mason? That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. That's like the worst question I could ever hear in my life because it's such a tough one to answer. I don't know. Price and Soap. I might have to go with Price and Soap. More iconic. More iconic, better. Same thing, really, I guess. Not completely. More iconic would probably be Price and Soap then, because Price and Soap had 3 games, right? Woods and Mason only had 1 game. Well, 2. A couple missions in Black Ops 2, not a lot. True. I think higher rounds are things to go for. Yeah, it's just not for... I guess they're not for me. They're just really repetitive. I'm more of an Easter egg guy more than anything, to be fair. And I think that's why I've appreciated like Black Ops 3, 4, and Black Ops 2 maps a lot more than like World at War and BO1. Even though I've been playing since World at War. Like, a lot of people think I've not been playing since World at War because I don't like World at War Zombies and BO1 that much. But I'm like, bro, I've been here since Nocturne and Tone. I've been playing since the day freaking 1 when World at War first dropped. And people just really do think that I'm just like new to zombies or something. But I don't know, that's just how I play, I guess. It's different. And that's the great thing. We all play differently. All right, chat, I'm watching this video. Oh, stop! She thought it was a real game too. Have you ever played? Oh, that. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I haven't done Easter eggs. I'm not into those much, but I do love the storyline. I feel like Easter eggs have so much more replay value because you can speedrun them, show it to the stream. How do I do that? Oh, I guess I could do that. That's not that hard to do. Hold up. Twitter. Is Twitter open? Yeah, it's open. I don't want y'all looking at my notifications. You know, I'm blanking this out for a second. I don't want you guys looking at my crap. Even though I don't have much to hide, but like I still don't want people snooping. Wait, how do I? There we go. I don't want no one snooping in my stuff, even though they're really not that. Wait, hold on. Okay, you don't really need the video, honestly. I'll put the video anyways.
Prime. Love it. CV coming for you. Have you ever played Ray Paying Miners? I have not.
Round 2, fight.
She takes. I don't know if you guys can hear that well. I have no idea, but that's funny. That's fucking funny. She thought it was a real game too. She was like, "Have you ever played?" She thought it was a real game. Oh my god. Good job. Now I gotta set it up perfectly. Wait, why does it look weird? Oh wait, no, we're good. We're good. There we are. Let me just lower it. No, higher it. Perfect. Perfection. Okay. Too busy, Ray. Ray Ping. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Innovation. It's so hard to rate innovation in BO4. It really is. I mean, to be fair, these are all remakes, so they didn't really innovate that much at all. These did add new variants, though. You had new story innovations. For the story, it was pretty innovative, but like not much other than that. Send it to my Twitter. Bro, later. Okay, later. I don't know how to do that. Later. I'm gonna give it both a 3. I don't think they innovated that much, but they did add some new stuff. So I can't just give it a 0 for being a remake. That's not fair. I hope BO5 is a mix of BO4 and BO3 because I actually like BO4 a lot. I feel like it won't be because of how much people hate BO4, and I think Treyarch's gonna take that to heart, and they're just gonna cancel anything BO4 did. Like literally anything BO4 did, they'll be like, no. I really do think they're gonna do that, and I hate that. I hate that it's gonna happen, but it's just how it is, I guess. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I hope I'm wrong. I hope they do some huge things. I want the perks, not the perk system, but I would like a lot of the perks from BO4 back, like Winter's Wail, Time Slip, Bandular Bandit, some of the newer ones like Blood Wolf Bite. I would love those back. Ancient Evil. Did it innovate? Not much. Actually, Chaos, though. It completely changed my mind on Chaos. I think it did a great job with that. Some of the little features here and there were really interesting as well. Like, the challenge things were very different. How Oracle guided you through the map. People literally hate BO4 because of the HUD and the perk system. Like, that's it. Like, that's all I hear from people. Perk and HUD, the HUD. I'm like, is that really enough to hate the whole game? I don't know. Ancient Evil. I feel like Ancient Evil is way too low for items. The gauntlets are awesome. Same for Alpha Omega. The regular Mark IIs are awesome. Gotta put them a little bit higher for that. In Ancient Evil, it's pretty replayable. I'm putting them lower for replayable, but like, it is. Come on. I can't lie to myself with that. I feel like I'm just being generous because I know people don't like the perk system, but like, it's really not that bad. It's not that much, exactly. And I feel like it's also because it's most recent zombies, and people always... This is a fact, literally with everything. People hate the newest of a franchise, right? And then they look fondly on the thing before it. Notice how much hate Modern Warfare is getting, right? It's getting a lot of hate. Zombies, recent Zombies entry was BO4 Zombies. Gets a lot of hate. The newest Star Wars movie, Rise of Skywalker, It's probably the most hated Star Wars movie, even more than The Last Jedi. I see people looking fondly to The Last Jedi, which I thought was one of the worst Star Wars movies. People are now saying it's great, and they're saying The Rise of Skywalker sucked because it's the newest one. Next time a new Star Wars movie comes out, people are going to say the new one's bad, Rise of Skywalker was great. It's how people are. I don't know why. I never understood that, but it just happens so often. People don't like the most recent thing because they don't have that nostalgia or that, you know, they don't have any like sort of connection to it yet because it's so new, you know? Oh well. Okay. Ancient Evil. Innovation. 5. I don't think it innovated that much. MW love. You know what? If you put MW Warzone, I will agree. I love Warzone. Fucking love it. Fucking love it. I liked The Force Awakens and Tros. I did. I did not like Last Jedi. I think The Force Awakens, this is such an unpopular opinion. I think The Force Awakens is the best Star Wars movie of all time. Such an unpopular opinion. I fucking love that movie. And Modern Warfare's campaign was really good. I'll give you that as well. But Spec Ops is doo-doo water. Like, I'd rather drink hot dog water. Like, I'd rather dip a hot dog in a glass of water, jiggle around a little bit, get all the grease in the water as well, take out the hot dog, and then gulp that thing. Then play Modern Warfare Spec Ops. Multiplayer, though, I love some of the mechanics. Like the guns, how they feel. There's a few gameplay mechanics, though, that I just don't like. A big part of it is skill-based matchmaking, unfortunately, which I think is going to be in the next game. I think it's going to be. There's no way they're not going to have skill-based matchmaking back. It's so annoying. That's probably going to happen again, but I don't know. It's just how video games are these days. Even Fortnite's plagued with skill-based matchmaking now, and people hate it, man. People hate that shit. I don't blame them, though. It's not fun being put against OP people just because you're good at the game. I don't know. A ranked mode, though, of course, it should be skill-based matchmaking. But other than that, no. Dead of the Night Innovation. They had a lot of cool new things, like the steak knife. Well, Force Awakens 2 sequel got me to Star Wars, so yeah. You play BF? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I fucking love Battlefront 2. Love it. I would do more videos on it, but I just don't feel like it, to be honest. It's one of those games that I don't want to make videos on because making videos can be kind of tedious sometimes, and I don't want to ruin the fun of a game. So, like, me and my friend literally just play Battlefront 2 and just be relaxed and just fuck around on it. Like, I don't want to make videos on it, you know what I mean? It's sad that the team made Extinction IW. Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's kind of why Lee Ross left, I feel like, because he's not going to do anything on Spec Ops, you know what I mean? And what was his name? Brian Bright, I believe is his name. Is he still working on Infinity Ward? Was he working on Spec Ops? Because I remember Brian Bright was like the big face of Extinction. And I don't know, man. Why couldn't they have just given the ability to do something unique? Like, Spec Ops is just not unique. I don't even want a BF3. I just think BF2 should be developed more. There's so much more they can do with it. But they just gave it up. They just gave it up. I'm like, bro, what? The game was doing so well, too. And I know why. It's because they don't have microtransactions, or they don't have much of it. There's not much you can buy. I would have no problem with some skins in the shop like Fortnite that you can buy if that means the game stays alive longer. I would have no problem with that. I would pay for stuff just so the game goes on longer. I know that's why they canned it, because there's nothing else they can do with it. Yeah, Rip by W Zombies. I would love to see a sequel to that as well, but I guess not a lot of people liked it. Dead of the Night, did it innovate? I don't really think it did too much more than other maps. I feel like that's the one thing BO4 falls in, is innovation. Okay. Innovation was huge on launch, but like as maps went along, a lot of them felt the same. Yes, Matt, Battlefront is the best, but unfortunately, they ain't doing shit with it anymore. Like, I wanted Coruscant, I wanted Ahsoka, I wanted Mace Windu, I wanted the Mandalorian, I wanted fucking Mustafar, I wanted private matches more than anything, to be fair. But it's all just gone now. That sucks, but whatever. Innovation Classified, it didn't innovate that much. I'll give it even less. I'll give it a 1. It really didn't innovate at all. Or just make the skins worth credit or crystals. Yeah, exactly. I would pay for that shit because they're awesome. I mean, I don't know if I would actually. No, people would though. People would. And if people would, then they would make money and then they'd be saved. Blood of the Dead. Innovation. Pretty much the same as Alpha, Omega, and Tog. Not much. 9 though. Should I give it the benefit of the doubt for being the first of the Black Ops 4 maps? Because there was new perk systems, there was new special systems, introduced custom mutations, but that's not the maps though, that's just the game. The maps themselves didn't innovate. So, I think Voyage, it was started the Chaos story, 9 started the Chaos story as well. I think they both did, so I gotta give it some credit for being the first of the Chaos story, so yeah, I'll give it a little bit higher. I would love more updates in Battlefront for sure. I feel like Tog is oddly low, and I don't know why. I think it's really in the boss zombies category. It really lacks. I should honestly, yeah, replayability should be higher. That's true. So 70. So it's on par with like Voyage. Honestly, I kind of agree with that. And then Blood of the Dead. Blood of the Dead's higher than Voyage, really? That's interesting. I think story is what pushes it above. Yeah, story pushes it above. Yup. Wow. See, if I would write my favorite list down, it wouldn't be the same as what I'm getting here, which is what makes this as unbiased as possible. Because if I was making a biased list where I was just ranking my favorites, this is not the ranking would be. I would have Alpha Omega at number 1, then I would have Ancient Evil, then I would have 9. But here it's telling me Ancient Evil is the best, then Alpha Omega, then 9. Then Voyage? I'd usually put Voyage, or not, then Blood. I'd usually put Blood at last. Brian's still at IW. Honestly, he should just be moved to Treyarch to work on zombies. I feel like he'd be better there, but I mean, I can't speak for him. I don't know. Maybe he's doing a fine job there, but Spec Ops, I feel like, is just lacking. And they're not doing much with it anymore, are they? I don't think they've done anything with it. He's probably not working just on Spec Ops. I'm sure they have a multiplayer and probably doing some stuff on Warzone as well. Which was a really interesting fact that I heard. I don't know if I heard from Activision or a leaker. I don't know, but apparently the studios are working so close together, more so than they ever have been before. Like, Treyarch and Infinity Ward used to like never speak to each other. They were just making their own games, being as competitive possible back in like World of War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1 days. They just make the games, never speak to each other. But as of recently, apparently, Treyarch devs have been working on Modern Warfare. Infinity Ward devs have been working on this new Black Ops in COD 2020. They've been literally working with each other. You have Sledgehammer working on Warzone and Black Ops 2020 and their own game sometime in the future. Apparently they're working on some free-to-play thing. You have Raven working on every COD game, literally everything. That's crazy to me, how closely they're working together now, and I love that, actually. Fucking BO3 Thomas Tank Engine custom map. I think I played that before, and I'm kind of mad I have played it before. Spec Ops was lit. It was fun, but I don't think it had the same replay value as Zombies, so I thought it was always kind of lackluster because of that. Like, I feel like the third mode should always be something that's so unique from everything else, but Spec Ops has never been that unique. It's kind of just been like, oh, here's a fun side mode to play for like a couple days, but then what else do you do after that, you know? Zombies is like a full, it feels like its own game, Zombies. That's why I just always have loved Zombies more. You know, I do have fond memories on Spec Ops for Modern Warfare 2, but it didn't do much. It affects Zombies because in Treyarch we trust. In terms of what? In terms of the developers working with each other? I don't think it affects Zombies. I think that just means you'll see some Infinity Ward devs helping out with Treyarch multiplayer, probably. Be adding some things. I don't know. Hope they have more Spec Ops in Season 4, working on a bigger revamp. If they are, I would definitely try it out again, but honestly, I think what went wrong with it is that it wasn't even supposed to happen, I don't think. I don't think Spec Ops was planned. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but there was leaks that they were working on a Zombies mode, right? And they were also working on Warzone. And what they ended up doing is saying, okay, screw Zombies. We don't want Zombies because people don't like BO4. We want to let them, take a breather. So just scrap Zombies and instead use the Warzone map that we're working on and put it into the Spec Ops, and you could just play stuff on it. But they didn't really develop it well enough to give us fun and interesting missions. So I just wish they did zombies instead, even though I get why it was probably better for the community that we didn't have zombies, you know? Better than a new one. Yeah, I agree with that. I got pranked Husky, Mud kills. Jeez. Original was Warzone with zombies hybrid. Yeah, I heard something like that, which that sounds freaking awesome, but what are you gonna do? We've been streaming for 2 hours. Jesus! Oh my god, it's midnight? How is it midnight? How the fuck is it midnight? I don't get it. Alright. Let me know you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys. Should I finish IW and World War II now? Or should I just do this on my own time? I don't know if I should do this now or if I should do it on my own time. I'm not gonna do a whole nother stream for this again, but I don't know how much longer I want the stream to go on. I think we'll do IW real quick. I think I'll save World War II for later because I need to play more World War II. I haven't played it enough to even give it a fair opinion. So let's start with Spaceland. Oh my god, replayability on Spaceland is 20 out of 20. I don't want to hear it. It's 20 out of 20. Don't argue with me. Items, space pistols, IW weapons are fantastic and really fun to use. They have the freeze gun, which kind of sucks. 10 perks, a lot of perks. Oh, there's a lot of shit you can mess around with. I'm just thinking about it. You have the traps, the rides. That's an 18. 18 out of 20. Map design. It's a fucking theme park, man. It's a fucking theme park. I can't give it a bad score. 9 out of 10. Not perfect, though. There could be better transportation methods to get around, but it's almost perfect. Bosses, the clowns, and then the big brute guy. They could have done a little bit better with the bosses, I think. So I'm going to give it a 7. Easter egg is pretty simple, but it's not perfect. But it's simple, and the alien boss fight's fucking awesome. Story, this is where IW falls short. It's a 2. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's a 2. Story sucks. It falls short because of that. Actually, bosses shouldn't be a 7. The brute was cool. The clowns were cool. I can't give it a low score. Atmosphere, 10 out of 10. That's an obvious. Innovation, it's literally Spaceland. It has some of the coolest of everything. I don't know. There's so much fucking new stuff on it that we've never seen before. I don't know. Innovation was pretty big, even just for Infinite Warfare as a whole. I'm going to give it a 10. It really hits it hard for that game. I do think it needs a good story, and unfortunately, Spaceland does not have that. But it's still an 87, though. 87 is really high. Is that the best we have no. Or not the best we have. Is it top 5? Let's see. So, what are the best ones so far? Origins, Mob, Horizon, Shadows, Garad, Spaceland, Ancient Evil. That's pretty accurate to what most people would say, to be honest. Setsubo is pretty high, actually. Call the Dead. Yeah, Buried's also pretty high, 80. That's pretty accurate. This is pretty accurate to what I would probably put. For the most part, some of it's not accurate, though. Like, honestly. Well, to what I would put if I was being unbiased. You know what I mean? Or if I was being biased. But I'm going to make an unbiased list. That's why I'm doing this. Because it's trying to be as unbiased as possible. Even though there's still some bias in there. That's just the nature of opinions. Raid of the Redwoods for replayability. Not as good as Spaceland's replay value, but still pretty freaking high. Items. The bows are pretty freaking cool. But they're not as cool as the Space Pistols. 17. Map design, it's a little too big in how you get around, but it's still a really awesome map. So I'll give it a 7. Bosses, what do you have? The Slasher. Oh, the Slasher. The Slasher's cool. I'm giving that a 10 out of 10. Easter egg is easy. It's not really a good one. No, I can't give it that high of a ranking. I can't. It's not that great of an Easter egg, but it's easy. So for people who like easy Easter eggs, it's pretty great. Story, a little bit better than IW story, but not much, not by much. Atmosphere is not as good as Spaceland, but still pretty high up there. Actually, a lot less than Spaceland. And Innovation, not as innovative as Spaceland, but still a little bit innovative in some ways. Shaolin Shuffle, most underrated map ever. Replayability is honestly a fucking 18. Items, the katana. Holy shit. I'm sorry, dude. I'm an IW fanboy, I'll be honest with you guys. Map design, it's a little confusing in some places. It's not that high. Bosses, the Kung Fu zombies are kind of annoying. But they're not terrible if you have decent weapons. So, 7. Easter egg kind of sucks unless you're with co-op. But I love some of the steps. It doesn't suck. 5 is fair, though. 5 is fair. Story, pretty much the same as Rave. I don't think it's any better. Atmosphere, though, is a 10 out of 10. And Innovation. If you beat the Easter egg at launch, minus 100. Oh, yeah, remember we had to, like, we couldn't fucking do it because it was glitched. That was funny. We physically could not do that Easter egg. And then I contacted the guy who leads zombies, and Lee Ross, and he was like, yo, it'll be fixed soon, don't worry. I was like, lit. Innovation, it had an Easter egg reward of the katana that you get to use after every game afterwards, which was pretty big. So I'll give it a little bit more than Rave, but not too high. Tactical reductive thing, replay value drops substantially. It drops to like a fucking 10 or maybe even 8. It drops substantially. This map is not as replayable as the other maps. It's just not. Items, the MAD is not as cool as the other ones. You do get some cool wonder weapons though, or not wonder weapons, melee weapons. I love the IW guns though, so that automatically puts items pretty high. And they added a new perk. I forgot about the new perk, so it's gonna get 16 for that. Map design. It's not a bad map design. It's just not really unique. I'll give it a 7. Bosses, the little Krogzilla guys. Actually, they're kind of cool. They're not perfect, though, so I'll give it an 8. Easter egg, I don't like the chemistry steps, so... Story, a lot better than the other maps. I love the Elvira kind of playing with Willard Weiler in the map. That's kind of cool. Atmosphere is 9. Innovation is not much, to be fair. I'll give it a 3 for innovation. So 61, that's not too bad, actually. Dude, people are gonna be pissed at my list, man. I have Attack of the Reactive Thing higher than Shangri-La. People are gonna be pissed. Change Choose, yeah, the new perk. I forgot about that, but that went to items. Oh, but that was innovation, though. I gotta give it a little more for innovation. That was a good fucking perk. I'm honestly adding 2 points just for that new perk, honestly. A Beast from Beyond replayability, really not much there. It's the same as Attack Reactive Thing in terms of not having much to do, but a little bit more. Items, the Venom Wet X and Y and Z. Yeah, no. I might have to drop Attack Reactive Thing. I don't like the one weapons on these maps. Map design. It's kind of all over the place, but it's not as bad as Shaolin's map design. Bosses, they have a bunch of bosses. I don't like how they brought back the Kung Fu guys because you don't have the katana. But I'll give it a 7. Easter egg. Okay. Easter egg without Mistopheles is a straight 2. With Mistopheles, it's a lot higher. I'm going to give it a 6. Just because of the Mistopheles boss fight. Story, pretty much the same as that thing. I don't think it's that great of a story. IW lacked in story. Beast from Beyond was hard to start. That could be true, but I don't think that affected replayability too much, in my opinion. At launch, I was pissed, though, because I was like, bro, how the hell do I get past this? Like, first wave, you know? Atmosphere, not nearly as good as any of the other atmospheres, but it's not terrible. And innovation, though, Innovation, I'm gonna drop a 10 out of 10. You know why? That opening with the aliens, like I said, it was hard, but it was still very different than what we've seen before. And I did like that change of pace. And the super Easter egg director's cut. This is what started that. You do this Easter egg, you get director's cut. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I gotta put innovation somewhere, and it's gonna go in Beast from Beyond's category, making it just a tiny bit better than Attack the Directive thing. I'm gonna try to push through World War II as fast as possible right now, but I'm probably gonna go back and mess stuff around a little bit because it's not perfect. But actually, no. You know what? I need more time to think about World War II. I'm gonna do it on my own terms. I just think I need to research the story more. I need to research a couple of the Easter eggs that I haven't done. I haven't done a couple of Easter eggs here. I need to be as informed as possible. So I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you all for tuning in, though. I had fun doing this. Like I said, this isn't a definitive ranking of what I'm going to do for the full video. I might change stuff up in here. It's just nice to kind of lay it out a little bit. And I think this is the best way to rank them with these categories. I think this is literally the perfect way to do it, as unbiased as possible, to get a perfect ranking that fits my exact opinion. Yeah, I think this is perfect. Not perfect. Like the idea of it's perfect. Not the numbers. The numbers I might fluctuate a little bit because I don't think they're perfect right now. But thank you all for tuning in. I will see you on my next one, and peace out.